Good morning. Welcome to the show. This show is a service to provide you with job opportunities in our area. If you or anyone you know have a business in Sylacauga or the surrounding areas, let us know and we will let our listeners know about your employment needs. And this show is called Employment Opportunities for Randy Clark on Daybreak. So, what we're going to do this morning, we're going to switch gears a little bit because I've noticed that some of these positions that I've announced on the show, they need some training. And we have a very special guest with us today, Mr. Jeff Lynn. Good morning.
Good morning, Randy. How are you today?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing great, thank you.
Jeff, would you tell us what your position with CAC, maybe a little bit of something about yourself?
Sure. I'm the new president at Central Alabama Community College. I've been there for officially since March, but before that I was interim for a few months before that. Prior to that, I was at the system office heading up workforce economic development for the state for our 24 colleges. Before that, I was in Louisiana doing workforce economic development for the Governor Jindal's administration and then Governor John Bell Edwards. And then prior to that, I was in Georgia doing workforce economic development, recruiting companies, doing their workforce. And then prior to that, I was in medical device manufacturing in North Atlanta. So.
Great. So, if you don't mind, I'm going to jump right into some questions.
Please, that sounds great.
All right.
Thank you.
Now, what is CAC's goal that is set forth for the students?
So the focus for us really is to focus on all of our students. Now our students really, the beauty of what we do at a two-year college is we have students from dual enrollment from high school all the way up until I think our oldest person is 80-something, 82 years old.
Right.
And so our student population is pretty broad. But so what we want to do is we want to offer the best education, workforce experience for all of our students that we service. We have niche programs for each group, but also we tie in our business and industries locally to find out what they need. They really drive the programs that we offer. Otherwise, it wouldn't make sense to train somebody to not find a job locally. And so it's very, very important, especially for workforce. Now for education, we have a great two-year programs that transfer to four-year programs across the state of Alabama and others outside of the state. But our focus is really to make it the best experience for that student to come to us and get workforce or education programs.
Okay,
Period.
great.
Yes,
Now, where are the campuses located for Central Alabama Community College?
So we're headquartered in Alexander City. We have another campus in Childersburg. Those are our two largest campuses, if you will. We have another campus up in Talladega. Okay. And a campus in Prattville as well.
Okay.
And a shopping center there now, and then we're going to be moving into another location fairly soon.
Great. So y'all are just everywhere.
Yes, sir. We cover around 7 counties.
Great.
You know, kind of some rural down to more populated areas.
Great.
Yes, sir.
Now, tell me how students can apply and what are the different financial aid programs that are available for the student?
So real quickly, I would just have to say that October 18th through the 22nd is really orientation and statewide college application week. So now's the time for seniors in high school to come and see us and get registered.
Great.
Now we have a lot of programs, and I'm just going to read through. We have a lot of scholarship programs, Academic Excellence Scholarship, which is huge in this area for Sylacauga. We have an ambassador scholarship for students. We have about 22 ambassadors that we give scholarships to. We have a significant number of career technical education programs that really the state legislature is so thankful to and thoughtful to give us dollars to help out with, especially in dual enrollment students for that. So if you complete a GED through our high school adult ed program, you can actually get up to one free class, up to 3 hours credit. So that's a beginning. So if you go to adult ed program, get a GED or a high school equivalency, then you can be routed into one of our programs, get the first class free. And then also we have athletic scholarships for men's golf, softball, women's tennis, and baseball. So we have all of those. So a lot of those programs, so probably 60% of our student population have some type of financial aid
Right.
that they
right.
receive.
I know we have a lot of baseball players that winds up at CAC
Yes, sir.
from
Yes, sir.
from our local high school.
That's right.
Okay. Now we covered the part about the work with the high schools, but when does CAC actually start the students transitioning to college, and what year does the high school does this begin, and do students need a high school diploma, GED, and I'm sure their ACT scores?
Sure. So we reached down. We've got one high school that we started a new program this year that we started in 9th grade. So that
really?
student, it's called the LEAP program. It's over in Alex City, and it's one of the very few across the state. But a freshman in high school at Benjamin Russell is also a freshman at CAC.
Okay.
And they started it with 9 students. So when they graduate from Benjamin Russell, they graduate from CAC. So that's the very earliest that we actually have enrolled. Typically, we start at 10th or 11th grade, normally more in the 11th, so they finish their 11th and 12th grade, and then all of those credits they can actually roll into the articulation when they become a full-time student with CAC. And so it really helps that student get a lot of career tech programs behind them and academic.
Okay.
We're now able to offer a lot of STEM classes, and we have scholarships for those for our high school students as well. Since I've been at CAC, we've been really pushing dual enrollment, and so now we're number 2 in the state for a number of students in dual enrollment. We have about 659 students in dual enrollment right now, so we want to grow that over time. You know, it's about employment. You know, everyone's having difficulty trying to find teachers, and so are we. And so we need more teachers to help us with that program, along with our partners in K through 12 as well. So,
Right.
So typically it's the 10th and 11th grade, more in the 11th grade programs, and some of the programs are taught at the high school, and some programs are taught at our colleges as well, so students are bused into us.
Great, great. Now, this one sounded close to me because I was a blue-collar worker.
Yes, sir.
But what are the different trade classes that's available, such as welding, air conditioning, machine shop? Are those still there?
Well, the air conditioning is not right now. They used to have one a long time ago. We are looking at starting another one because there's a huge need for that. So we look at economic drivers in business and industry, and we look at occupational data that drives the industry. So we need to be a real strong economic engine for our business and industry. So as I mentioned earlier, business and industry drives what we offer. We have welding. Our welding program is really taken off, both at Alex City and at Childersburg. Our machine shop program, we have one over in Alex City and in Childersburg as well. We have a brand new 5-axis equipment, and you know, your background is manufacturing as well. So 5-axis is very technical. We have 5 community colleges in the state that have that equipment. And it's really for high-end machining for automotive or Department of Defense or aerospace engineering type of programming. So we're excited about that.
Yes.
There's a big competition coming up called Project Manufacturing that our team with students will actually participate in that statewide. We also have a lot of programs in healthcare, a lot of programs in healthcare. We partner with some of the local schools here with Dr. Lacey, Dr. Eller, also with Margaret Morton's SAFE group, and we started some short-term phlebotomy classes, MAT classes, etc., to expand that. That's a huge need in this community, and quite frankly, nationwide.
It is.
So we're really focused on manufacturing, healthcare, IT, logistics, and all the above. And there's about 16 different industry clusters out there, and so we touch all of them in one way or the other.
Great. That kind of leads up to my next question.
Yes, sir.
And from this program, I've noticed 2 highly needed positions, not just in Sylacauga, but all of our surrounding areas, and which is nursing and teaching and substitute teachers. Do y'all, can we talk about what CAC has to offer in these programs? In other words,
Sure.
What if somebody doesn't quite have a teaching degree, but they want to go ahead and be a substitute teacher? Do y'all help them get a substitute teacher certificate?
Well, they have to really have the qualifications or the credentials to be the teacher, which they're set forth by K through 12. So our programs, they can take the 2 years with us and then transfer it to a 4-year and get their 4-year.
Okay.
And then they can get their credentialing to become a substitute teacher at that point. And so we have pathways to a lot of colleges, 4-year colleges across the state, really all colleges across the state that we could do that with. Nursing is huge for us, and nursing is one of those critical, great career opportunities where students can come to us, get that training, and go straight to work, and really take that wherever they need to, wherever they move to across the nation. There's such a huge healthcare shortage, quite frankly. But also a lot of our nursing homes across the state, they're really, really looking for students that can get into that. And that's more of the LPN program, Licensed Practical Nursing. And actually they're paying for a lot of people's education to go through that, even workers that they have. So incumbent workers, they'll send them back to us for classes. We work out a work-based learning program where they work part-time, they come to us part-time, and their tuition's fully paid for by a lot of great companies here. The other ones I mentioned was phlebotomy. Phlebotomy is kind of a baseline CNA, MAT. Those are programs that we can actually start either non-credit through some of our partners that we have, like SAFE locally, or through adult ed. And so these are programs that we can really target and get those students that credential, and then they go straight to work and start making a really good living. And then they can stack those on top of each other and end up with a LPN, or later down the road an RN position as well.
Great. All right. Now, here's a big subject I think is very important nowadays because of what we have in our surrounding areas. What about the automobile training programs?
Absolutely. So not auto collision repair, but what we do is we prepare people to go to work in the plants to build the cars. And so we have industrial maintenance programs, which really are mechatronics, if you will. There's a lot of electrical, a lot of mechanical, some machining, some welding, but a lot of PLCs and understanding that type of automation, sensors, controls, variable speed drives, motor controls, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Those students really come out at top pay. And we have some students that come out making $60,000 to $80,000 a year after 2 years of training. We'll be starting some apprenticeship programs with that soon called the FAME program, which is tied into the advanced automation, all the auto industries that we have in the state of Alabama, which we have a lot of those great companies here. So I think that one of the top jobs out there right now is more industrial maintenance, mechatronics type of individuals. Every manufacturing company that I meet with, they're dying to have those students. And so what we're trying to do is supply them the need that they have out there. So right now, I think the supply is less than the demand, so we need to beef that up, and we are in all of our campuses across the state, and partnering with them and making sure that we can help them as best as possible. We started a new manufacturing certification program called MSSC. We actually pushed that down into high schools, and so a dual enrollment student can take those and let's see, they can actually take 12 hours from high school college credit into that mechatronics or industrial maintenance program at CAC. So it gets them a head start on that, and they can graduate early and go to work, making great money in Alabama with great benefits.
Right, and those car manufacturers are just a short drive from here.
That's right.
We have the Lincoln, we have the Honda plant, then we got the Hyundai plant, then we got the Mercedes plant, now we got the Toyota plant.
That's right.
So
that's right.
Those programs are very important. Now, you know, for different reasons, say somebody didn't get their high school diploma, and you know there's different reasons why they didn't.
Absolutely.
Does CAC, they offer? When I was on the campus the other day, I happened to see a sign that says GED program.
Right.
Could you kind of go into that?
Randy, it's a lot of people don't know, but in the state of Alabama, and every state has a large population, but our population's around 500,000 people that would qualify for a GED. So they just, for whatever reason, they just didn't finish high school.
Right.
So we love to get those people embedded into a GED or a high school equivalency program. And we have tracks for whatever level that person can come in. So we'll give them a basic test up front, and then put them on a track to success. Once they complete that GED or high school equivalency, years ago they would say, okay, this is celebration, this is the end, good luck. We don't do that anymore. We get them into a pathway. So we put them into a pathway to healthcare, manufacturing, automotive manufacturing, or whatever it might be. Working in manufacturing, etc. So those people then come to us, get their first class free, and then again, a lot of times they qualify for financial aid, Pell grants, or whatever, and a lot of times they'll finish their degree without paying any out-of-pocket money,
right.
And go straight to work.
Great.
And a lot of our companies are really seeing that population's still there, that 500,000 people. And one day, I think if we really start breaking down that 500,000, getting that number lower and lower and lower, we're going to see a lot of great people going to work from that population. And we need them. Everybody needs workers right now. So
everybody does.
I think help wanted everywhere, right?
They are.
Yes,
Everywhere
sir.
you turn, there's a help wanted sign.
Yes, sir.
Okay, great. Now, we got a couple minutes left, and the last thing I want to talk to you about, on CAC's website. There are also openings at the school. Can we talk about what kind of openings that CAC might have?
Absolutely. So prior to that, we have a new Dean of Academics that I just hired, new Dean of Workforce I just hired, new Dean of Students I just hired. So a lot of new people. We're kind of looking at our operation, and if you're doing the same thing you did two years ago, then you're not doing what you need to do. So we have to adapt to the economy. And so that's what we're doing. So we've got some jobs in our dual enrollment area, our admissions area. We're going to be hiring a lot more people, instructors. We're looking for career technical educators. We're looking for academic instructors as well. There's going to be a lot of jobs posted at that site. There's a couple now, but there's going to be a lot more coming down the road too. We're really focused on making sure that we wake up every day and try to get better of what we've done the day before. And we're streamlining a lot of operations right now in our student services area and enrollment process, focusing on customer service, focusing on the student, and also focus on the community. And doing that, we have new openings that come available on a regular basis. I can't find people fast enough, but we also have to work within our budget. So we balance our budget every semester. So we're always looking for good people, and always looking to strive to get better.
Great. I might not have told you this, but this was very close to me because I'm a CAC graduate.
Are you really?
A couple years ago, 1984, but it sure helped me throughout my career.
Oh, that's great.
And
I meet a lot of great CAC alumni, so I'm glad to meet you again.
Yes. Well, it was good to have you on today, Mr. Jeff.
Thank you, sir.
Remember now, if you happen to miss the show this morning, you can either go to WIL's Facebook page or YouTube, WIL TV, Daybreak, Employment Opportunities with Randy Clark. See you next week.